guys. So have you left the hummingbird? There's the hummingbird with my daughter Cinnamon. You've left the little hummingbird, and now you're over to paint the last painting in our bird hop. I'm excited about that. For those of you who just found out we were running a live show, maybe you caught up later, maybe you were working, you could only catch the last one. There have been 5 paintings so far painted between my daughter Cinnamon Cooney, Art Sherpa, and myself. We started off about noon Central Time. Or Eastern Time, right? Noon Eastern Time?
No, it'd be noon Central, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, yeah, that's what we did. Okay, it's coming back to me. Yeah, we did that. And so first we started with Cinnamon, then we went to me, and then we went to Cinnamon. These are acrylic paintings, and we're doing them on little 6x6 gallery wrap canvases. John, if you want to go ahead and come on down to the table here, I want to just have our little hummingbird. Isn't this cute? This was handmade by a lady in South America on one of our trips, and I keep meaning to send it to one of the grandkids, but there's 3 of them, and I only got 1 bird, so I ended up keeping it. But it's really cute. We're hopping over here, so far tonight, this afternoon we have done the gallery wrapped, this bird in the pink. This was the first one we started off, and so we brought the design clear over to the sides. This is fun to do because when you collect all of the birds, Cinnamon's also in gallery wrap, when you were to collect the original paintings, which is gingercookauction.com, and I want to say that's the first time Cinnamon's ever put any of her paintings up for auction, sort of a new adventure for them, and it's a very rare thing to have happen, and all our original paintings come with certificates of authenticity, and they are signed. The certificates are signed, and which gives you provenance. And also, we have prints available of these too, which we'll talk about a little later in the show. But again, limited edition prints. So these are the first 2 we've done, and we started out with this bird and the first bird hop, and we showed you how to freehand it in using the clock as a graph and also the 2-line grid. We showed you how to do that one. And then in the this video that we just did with this pink bird, we showed you how to use chalk, how to take a pastel chalk and then able to transfer the bird on if you just wanted to print it out. And you can go to our website, acrylicpaintingwithgingercook.com, sign up to be a free green member. Normally, and you can then download the traceables for all 3 birds. Now, our next bird that we're going to be doing today, here's the traceable for that. And we start off, all of these, we start off with a different colored canvas. We've got a purple canvas here. We're going to put another color on top of that. We're going to put our bird. We're going to layer it. We're going to show you how to layer your paint doing this. Yeah? So we thought this was way cool. I like this black canvas. I brought this out especially so you could see the contrast and how nice this looks when you do stuff like this. John feels it messes up the
totally drives the camera.
The camera can't really focus colors well, so I had to remove it. But you can see how cute these are. So we'll just put these out of the way. And this is the bird we're going to be doing next. And remember, there's going to be a total of 24 birds between now and the end of the year. They're all going to be different. We'll have fall birds and winter birds and holiday birds. And wow, it's going to be neat. These bird hops, we're going to try and space them out about every 30 days or so. And so you can have an opportunity to collect and make your own collection of birds, maybe get something before the holidays. So I hate to have a run on 6x6 canvases. These are gallery wrap canvases. There's about 1.5 inch width, and they're creative edge from Jerry's Artorama. So if you think you're going to be wanting to do a lot of these, you might want to pre-order your canvases. Now this is the print out for this bird. And I want to show you something. We showed you how to just freehand it on. Then I showed you how to use chalk as a traceable. I want to talk to you. The way most people do it is they buy something called Sorel transfer paper. And what I liked about their sampler, and we have that in our store, gingercook.gallery/Amazon. And we have this in the store. The reason I like it, they're small, but you get 5 colors. You get the blue, the red, the yellow, the white and the gray. So generally, depending on what kind of background you have, you may want a light or dark transfer sheet, okay? And so anyway, we're going to show you how to use the transfers. If none of you have ever done it, it's simple and it's nice. And particularly if you're doing portraits or anything, you want to make sure you get the details correct on that. So I've got some blue. Here's just some, dark blue transfer paper. And I'm going to just, let's make sure it'll show up here for you. So I've got a pen here. I'm just going to write on it. Does it show up? Kind of. Does it, John? I could do white. I could grab, I thought I had white and blue, I thought. Oh, I have yellow. Let's try yellow. This is what I mean about that. You could just experiment, see what shows up the best.
I think you might be upside down on that one.
Maybe it's upside. No, that's the right side up.
I think that one might be gone.
Well, you can use them over and over again. You can kind of see it, right? Like there. You can kind of see the yellow.
Yeah,
I think the yellow probably works better than the blue. Just test it and see, because white would probably have been good too. Contrast being everything. So I'll just take a little tiny piece of tape.
Yeah, the Sorel paper is also available, or transfer paper is also available in rolls. Again, that's at the Amazon store at gingercooklive.gallery/Amazon. You can find it there. Bring up the Sorel papers. They have a lot of different options. Now, the rolls now, they seem to be doing them like in 36 or 40-inch strips in a roll. I mean, it's kind of weird how they're doing it, but it works.
It works, though I preferred it when it was real rolls and
Well,
you
it's
could
just a
keep
full roll,
unrolling it.
but I guess people were complaining or something.
Well, you can't make everybody happy. You can try, and I guess they did a survey and figured out what works best for them.
Yeah.
The reason you might want the rolls or the bigger ones is because if you're doing a larger canvas, these are fine for small, 9 by 12 and under canvases. But if you're doing something 16 by 20, you're going to want the larger.
Yeah. So like when we do our 18 by 24s, we do 2 strips of them. It's very handy. Can you see it? Because I can't. If you can see it, you're good.
Boy, barely. I'm really going over this a lot.
I think that sheet needs to probably be...
Yeah, they at some point you've got to retire them, right? Fortunately,
They don't last forever.
Fortunately, this is a pretty easy shape here. Bird shape is pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
So we could have...
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody that's been hanging in there, hopping back and forth between the Art Sherpa and our channel. And if you haven't subscribed to us and you're new to us, please consider pressing that little subscribe button. Hit the little bell if you want to be notified. And by all means, give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the show, or give us a thumbs down if you don't. They both help.
So, and I got to say that we've had like 20 new Facebook club members that just signed up for our Facebook club. I was just talking to Becky, and she said that she's included over there, one of our moderators on our Facebook club. It's free. And because we also you can post your Art Sherpa tutorials on our club also. And let's see, I think I pretty much got this, but I'm not real happy with this line right here. That's what we always tell you, to test your transfer paper. You know what I mean? Just make the point of testing it. Because again, it kind of wears out, but I feel like I can probably fudge it a little bit here. Here's our bird here.
You'll be able to at least go over.
I could go over it with some white pastel.
For those of you that are new and don't understand how we operate, we do offer transfer or traceables on all our lessons. You have to be a paying member at the basic supporter level, which is the orange level, for $4.95 a month to get our YouTube ones.
But this time we made an exception this time for our hop viewers, and we made the normally we made the traceables for this free. Okay, so there we go. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory here, right?
Yeah, it looks like a bird.
We got a bird here. We're going to do something down here like that, and there we go. And we've been using some nice paints here, colors. They're a combination of golden and Holbein paints. They're heavy, duty paints. We've got titanium white, which is a little. We kind of have to put out a little more than that. We've used the same palette for all three birds. I wanted to keep some continuity, so if you hung up all three, they all kind of went. And you know what would be cool is if you painted, if you decorate a room, if you got the prints and you hung them on a wall, and then maybe you took maybe one of those little clear plastic Kleenex boxes and painted a little bird on all four sides. It'd be about the right size for this. The other thing you guys have not thought about doing too is you could get like a throw pillow and then put some GAC 100 on it to seal it, where you're going to tape around where you think your picture's going to go, and then put GAC so it seals the throw pillow. So the fibers, I would do something like a tight, linen weave. You could paint on those. You could take your acrylics and do all kinds of neat things. So that's kind of cool. We think so. And also, I think the coffee cups, the coffee mugs are all in cute styles, but we made the option on the coffee mugs where you can design your own color background. So we picked colors we thought went, but if you wanted a white mug with suppose you wanted to buy sentiments of mine, you wanted all the mugs to be the same color, just in different pictures, you have that option too. So have fun with this in our Teespring store. I'm going to just go ahead and start here. There's a lot of red in this one. Do you guys see that? There's a lot of red. I'm going to just start with some white paint because I want the red to show up. I'm just going to go ahead and paint my bird white like this, right where the wing goes. And then maybe around here on his head. I think so. We'll just paint him white. We'll leave a little of this purple outline.
Donna has a good question. If I sign up under the green level, will it be hard to change to a different level? No, absolutely. It's very simple. This is our new website we're just finishing up, and it's a lot simpler to change levels at the drop of a notice.
You don't even need John's help. You just do it.
I got a couple of videos on the Tech Bear channel that will explain how to do it. It's real simple.
All right, so there's our... All right,
there's our basic white bird.
That's our basic white bird. Now, I can paint the wing in purple because... it's purple's going against this darker purple, so that's pretty easy. I'm kind of careful. I can paint that wing in purple. There's see the little white on this side of my brush, so that when I tilt it or just turn it over that way, I can have a little quick. Don't overthink this. These are really fast and easy and fun paintings to do, and the more you do them, the easier you're going to find they are to be. We wanted to make this really super fun and easy for everybody, okay? So while that's drying, I'm going to take my, I think we'll just put in let's put in our branch. And I've got a branch coming here, kind of a dark branch up like this. I'll put the branch in this one so I know I've got a branch there, right? I have phthalo green out, mauve purple, but you could use Dazzling, ultramarine blue, cad red medium. This is just cadmium orange from Golden. Cad red medium here. That was cad red light. This is cad red medium. This is one of my favorite colors ever for painting flowers and fun things like birds is this luminous rose from Holbein. That is a phenomenally good color. And so we've got that going here with that. There's quite a bit of this, because there's not very much of this color. I don't need any more of that out. Magenta, cad yellow medium, phthalo green, yellow oxide, and of course white, and ultramarine blue, and this is phthalo blue. So there you go. Those are the colors. And
pretty much our basic colors.
Pretty much the colors we use all the time. I mean, we pretty much use that. I mean, the colors that go in there, if I want to just show you those colors here that we've got there, right? Can you back out? Let's see if I have that one big painting. I want you to back out pretty far, John. Because this is we have an art academy, for those who don't know it, where we give our members new lessons every week, and they go from beginner to advanced. And if this, do you see the colors there that are in this painting? This is the luminous rose. You can see all the beautiful blues. And greens and so forth. Even though this is a many-hour lesson, I don't know, it's probably 5 or 6 hours of tutorials. This will be coming up later this summer. In August will be when the tutorials are released. Don't get intimidated by it. This is what we call an impressionistic style. Today on the birds, we're doing what's called a stylized style. This is stylized art. And we don't just teach one style of art. We teach you how to paint, and then you kind of gravitate to your own styles, what's comfortable for you. You come up with your own new style, kind of a combination of everything you've tried, from impressionism to photorealism. Teach you all that stuff. And it comes with personal art coaching, where you can send me your artwork, and then I make actual videos with showing you how to improve it. It's really neat. All right, I want a kind of a blue background here, and I think I'm going to change it a little bit because I've had this one is pretty, I don't want them the same color, so I'm going to take a little bit of ultramarine blue and white, and let's move this out of the way. And so here's some white, glob of white, some ultramarine blue. Okay, see that? That's kind of pretty. Then we'll take a little tiny bit of phthalo. Oh, now that's a very nice different kind of blue, right? Phthalo blue, there you go. And then we want a little bit of our gel, which is the heavy gloss golden gel. I'll just use a palette knife and get some of that out. So just do a little bit of that. And what that'll do is gives it a little bit more texture, allows it for a little bit thicker texture when you're painting it. See, heavy gloss gel from Golden. It would dry clear if you had no color in it. And what's interesting is that here's another little tip. Sometimes people will buy maybe you have somewhere in your house, maybe some little print that it means a lot to you. It's on paper. It's not a signed or limited edition. It's just some print that you've had maybe for years in your house, but it has special meaning to you, but it looks a little old and worn. You can take some heavy gloss gel, no water on the brush, and then take a small brush and paint over it just like you were painting it for real. And it will not only revive that print, but if you reframe it, give it a whole new look. People might even think often you see that with giclées, that people think they're really the paintings. So let's take a little bit of this blue here, like that. And I'm going to come up here like this and come around. See how thick I'm making this? You can go up to 50% with the gels and your color, and not change the color. And then the reason sometimes people like they want a jewel effect, so they might mix more gel than color, and what that does is that it makes it almost like gemstones. Kind of, it's weird. It can be really pretty when you see gloss gel dried. So see how I'm using kind of a big brush and just taking a few brush strokes, not trying. And I want to kind of vary the color a little bit. I'll go right into the phthalo blue here. I want to vary this color like this.
We've had a request to hear from Natasha, Bullwinkle's friend.
Oh, Natasha. Okay. Okay. It helps if I've had a few.
Later, maybe
yeah, if I have to warm up to that. Natasha, when I was a kid, I used to watch Bullwinkle and Natasha all the time on cartoons. Those were very sophisticated. They had a lot of adult jokes that the kids never got. Let's put it that way. Those cartoons. And now remember, when you're doing the sides, just kind of do it kind of helter skelter. So okay. So see if I can make Natasha. We're going to talk about the bird here. Yeah. And we won't be painting any mooses, just bird. We're going to be painting birds, just no mooses, no squirrels. And anyway, I love Natasha. Bullwinkle and Natasha. I wrote the whole school play when I was in 9th grade doing that, and then I would introduce all the acts. It was like a variety show as Natasha. I don't think my mother ever, nobody in the family ever saw it, but I was very proud of the fact that I'd done it. Because, I wasn't the kind of kid that ever participated. I don't know how I got roped into that, but I wasn't a kind of kid that would really participate in in say that kind of activity. I mean, no, probably not. Okay, and you want to leave some of the purple showing through. Do you guys see that? You want to leave some of the purple showing through. This is important because that makes it that gives it that depth, that added depth. Okay, so there. So we've got there's our blue one, and then I might take a little bit of the phthalo green and add to that, and just to make it, don't want to get too
variation.
Just a variation in the color here, just a little bit, right? Just around here on the side. I want to overall I want it to be this blue color, but I'm just going to allow it to have a little bit of something. Just again, don't overdo it. You can always come back if you feel like you need when it dries, but there you go. So we got a little variation in that. We'll put that away. And I'm going to dry this, and John's going to show you other neat stuff. Ah!
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, lucky me.
Tell them about the auction, John.
Sure. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us. We do have an auction on the 6 original paintings that are be painting right now on the YouTube channel at gingercookauction.com. That's gingercookauction.com, and that will be running through next Friday until about 7:30 p.m. And matter of fact, next Friday we have our YouTube marathon where Ginger paints until she drops, and those paintings that she does will go up on auction next. And we usually get a dozen done, 12 to 13 paintings we hope to get done during that painting marathon. They usually last between 7 and 8 hours of straight painting. And that is next Friday, right here live on Ginger Cook Live YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please take a moment and do it. We'd appreciate to have the support. Doesn't cost you anything, and we will dearly love you for it.
I'm still
A thumbs
going.
up would be wonderful. What?
I'm still going because I forgot something.
You didn't, so
I forgot. I'm still going here, see? I forgot this side. I missed a side. Oh, no.
you can try that again?
I just have to dry that side real quick.
Okay.
Just, because I missed, like I say, I missed a side. All right, drying again.
All right. Okay. And to get the traceables for this particular tutorial of the birds, you go to acrylic painting with gingercook.com. That's acrylic painting with gingercook.com. And you sign up as a green member. If you're not already a member, it's green and above. Our green members are free members. We have a few tutorials in there for the green, so you can check us out to see what else we teach. There's some pretty good ones in there. And we periodically add some other ones in the free section so you can see if what we do will work for you. We are normally live on Mondays at 5:30 Central Time, right here on YouTube. And again, if you subscribe, hit the little bell, you'll be notified.
Yeah, and be sure to watch for any announcements that we do on our Facebook club, because we do those too. I take it I am back now. Yes and yes?
Of course you are, my queenness.
All right. So let's get some of that bright luminous rose color up here in our
Little noggin.
our little noggin, right up here. I want this bright up here like that, a little bit of noggin
A little
color.
bit of noggin pink.
Naga painting. Remember Naugahyde when they were trying to?
Oh yeah.
Remember Naugahyde?
Boy, did you ever stick to that when you were hot and sweaty?
Oh yeah, you just
You
yeah,
peel
that was
yourself off.
yeah, absolutely. Those were the days. Naugahyde. This is some of that bright orange color right here, and you see how much brighter it is when you paint over red.
It'd be white.
That'd be white. Yeah, as opposed to just
That'd be the other red.
no, that'd be white. Yeah, okay. So you can see I just put a little orange there. So just you can see that, and then if we take a little bit of the yellow color, I'll just scoop some up. See, I've got a little glob of it. I'm just going to scoop it up because I've got to lay it pretty carefully over this for that to be effective. Okay. Then I'm going to wipe the brush off and take a little cad red and just put that right there. Maybe a little bit of cheeky red there. See how much that'll
Cheeky
be.
red?
That's a cheeky red there.
Cheeky red.
And then I'm going to wipe the brush off and do a little bit more orange back here. I don't have, my brush doesn't have water on it. And I know that, for instance, anyone uses a lot of water. There's a lot of different ways to paint acrylics. You'll notice that my style is that I mostly have, do not use a lot of water. So I don't want you to be confused, because we just, everybody has lots of different ways to paint something.
Especially with acrylics.
With acrylics. And when they first came out, I remember I started painting with acrylics when they first came out, and nobody had any idea how to paint with them, and or what to do with them. And it was a bit of a challenge. Okay, I'm going to brighten that red up again. See, it was a bit of a challenge what to do with these, because they were meant, the way acrylics were invented was they were meant to replace. Let's see, we're going to put this through here like that. They were meant to replace oil paints. There was apparently, I don't know the name of the person, but there was a very famous oil painter. And I'm going to put another little tree over on this side, make it all crookedy. And oil paints are one of those mediums where you've got to have good ventilation or it's not healthy. You've got to have, open studios, lots of fans and windows and really terrific ventilation. And I think back then people didn't know as much about that as they do now, but for sure they knew that. And so let's start another little branch up here somewhere. Let's just get one going on this side. Kind of chip at this. Can you still see that? I'm going to just bring it up here over the top. And you can bring it back this way. I'm using kind of that purple, a little bit of brown, a little bit of blue. Anyway, got another little tree going right here. And let's make that bigger. So they didn't know anything about it. So anyway, this particular gentleman was very sick. And the doctor told him that he could no longer paint with oil. So he couldn't, his
health was deteriorating.
His health was deteriorating. And he just couldn't do it. All right, so you see I've got a little thing up there too. Okay, so his neighbor, who actually worked for a paint company that made acrylic, this was like in the 1950s, made acrylic paint. He says, I bet I can make something in acrylics that will have no fumes, that will not kill you, and I'll make you a paint. And that's how acrylics were invented, which is pretty neat when you think about it. Yes and yes. So that was the genesis of acrylic paint, was that. And then when he first did it, I mean, it was really intended to be, painted like oils. A little bit of white on the purple here, okay? And
but then the watercolorists figured out what it is, and they watered it down.
Yeah, because you can paint it on paper, and so then there more and more tutorials came out, like on how to do it on paper, as opposed to canvas, okay? But you definitely could use it on canvas, right? You sure could. And
it's a very, very versatile
and it was a very you could paint on signs, you can paint any. They discovered there were so many uses, and so it took flash forward 50 years, and now everybody makes some sort of oil painter. You cannot paint acrylics over oils, but you can paint oils over acrylics. So and oils take forever to dry. So what a lot of oil painting artists discovered they could do was they could get like most of their painting done in acrylics, like 80% of it, and then they could go over the top of it with oils. And so then, like this is, there was something like Old Holland, which is a European paint company. It took them years to develop. Whoops, I don't want that, but it's just going to be there all by itself as a flower. There's a happy accident, friends. There you go. Happy accident. Okay, good.
We can live with that.
we can live with that. So anyway, yeah, so, this has to dry a little bit, but not much. So Old Holland was one that matched exactly their oil paints to acrylics, down to every last color. So a little blue. We're going to put some blue up here. If this yellow's dry enough. On this, and let's put a little blue on this wing here. See, like that. Just one stroke and then stop. You know, don't get too nuts on me, okay? A little purple here. Let's take a little purple and there you go. Look at that. See how you've got a little bit of paint here, a little bit of paint there, a little bit of paint there, and then you get. Now, no, this is important. Not understand. If you don't mix your paints like you're making cookies. Right, look at the cookie dough. So if you put paint on one side of your brush and then maybe put some white on another, when you paint it, you can, let's see, let's actually get some paint. When you paint it, can you kind of see what I'm doing? You can, you can have fun with the colors. See, you can just, you don't have to have all the same color on your brush. But you want to make sure that you're not doing complementary colors on your brush at the same time. Those are the colors that are opposite itself on the color wheel. You really don't want that because it's a little bit brighter pink here. This is that Holbein bright pink color, and I want that brighter right there. Let's take a little bit of red here. Okay. You really don't want that. You've got to be very aware that you don't have. Take a little green here. You don't have if it's like that wet. That red's wet, so I've got one stroke to touch it, or I would have had to dry it. Okay, and you know, again, you don't want to paint orange over wet turquoise, or yellow over purple, or vice versa. But sometimes purple can be in your face. It can be very, very bright, and if you want to tone down purple, you can add a tiny bit of yellow to it. And you can then it sort of softens it. It's not it's not so much, yeah. So let's see, what are we missing here? Just a little bit of purple and blue here. This is ultramarine blue, purple. I think I want some dark color up here and maybe a little right here on my my wing. And of course, I want to put my beak on, and of course it's going to have an eye, and this is wet, so guess what, you can't, got to dry it. Let's dry this one more time, okay?
At least one more time.
At least one more time. This is yes and yes, and see how we painted it around the sides, how cute this is going to be. All right,
while she's drying that, take a moment now, give the thumbs up. Oh, I didn't even do a thumbs up yet. Look at that. Shame on me. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Janie, for the Leonard Decor artist and Sam Golden. I thought it was Sam that did the paint part. I could not remember the artist. I remember now that you've said it. I appreciate that. Remember that the also available, we have coffee mugs are available from both Cinnamon and Ginger. The Art Sherpa and Ginger both have coffee mugs of their paintings. And also there'll be prints available this time. First time the prints are being offered, and those are going to be available through the Art Sherpa shop, I think is her link.
Store, Art Sherpa store. Yeah,
store or shop. Oh, you want microphone too?
Yeah.
Boy,
okay,
you want
so it's
everything.
going to be available through the Art Sherpa store, and it's free shipping inside the United States. If you live outside the United States, you'll have to, even contact them and say, what would it cost to have my print sent to Ireland or wherever, right? Or Canada, or wherever. So you got the special stuff, but they will handle that. The original paintings will have certificates for the auction. Will have certificates of authenticity. John and I will be mailing out ours. Cinnamon will be mailing out hers, but we will be collecting the postage to where they're going and then get it to them. So you pay on our website, then we get the money to them, and you pay on the website for the prints, and they get money to us. And it's not complicated because they've got Linda Sue on it, and she apparently is the accounting master at their house and what we call one of the geniuses when it comes to that stuff, and a sock folder. She's a sock folder. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of the acrylic paint here. That's the Sharpie. I want that one.
You say that didn't look like an acrylic paint.
Where did it go? Ah, that's the Sharpie. Where did the?
You had it earlier.
You guys, oh, here it is. Yeah, I had it earlier. You guys all saw that, right? So I'm going to come up here like this and draw in my beak with my little Posca pen. Yes.
Which
See?
you could consider a very fine point acrylic brush.
And I'm going to come up here with his little feeties and put them on our branch. Yeah, acrylic, yeah, you got to think of these as a fine point brush. And then we know that he has a little white eye, which is going to go right here like that. Okay. Yes and yes. And then what happens to him? Well, we've got the, I wanted to just get, I think that was white paint. I'm going to get a little gel out and show you guys something. I want the flowers to be a little bit more in relief than they are. So I'm going to get out that gel again and show you a little trick. We're going to put some flowers on here. And I'm going to just...
Oh, yeah, you still got flowers and leaves to go.
In case, yeah, so we got flowers and leaves.
Hey, you're the last one. You can spend 3 hours on this one if you wanted.
Yes and yes, I could. I could show you even something else too. Can I show them something else?
Make a day of it.
I want to show them something else because they didn't realize that this, particularly if you're new to our show and our channel, we've got new paintings coming up, and this the new one is one of our newest ones.
Oh, here, don't tell me that we're going to be doing something to back out.
Can you reach it for it? I mean,
you think I'm paying attention to you?
Yeah. All right. Here's our here's one of our new tutorials that's coming up. It's one of our what we call box of cookie lessons. This is eventually you can get here, and that we've had people never painted before, and in 3 years they're able to paint this in their sleep. I mean, I'm telling you what, painting is a skill. It's not a talent. You can learn it. It's a teachable skill, and we teach it. And our secret is the personal art coaching, where we look at your artwork. I look at your artwork and then make you a little video or make you comments and tell you how you can improve it. Then you send it back, and I'm going almost, yeah, it's great, but if you just did this, it would even be better. And then we go on that. So we have a lot of different styles of painting. We've got a Southwest series that, and I don't think you gave me that.
You had it earlier.
I had it earlier? I don't remember. Oh.
Well, you said you did.
Well, I don't have the Southwest. Well, you have to watch Monday's show to see what that was. I don't have it, John.
Oh, well.
So, all right. So we're going to continue on with this. Now that the eye is dry, I can come back with my black. And I'm going to, just depending on where you put the black dot, kind of shows you where the bird is looking. See, if you wanted to look down, you'd put the black dot a little lower. Right? You can just, like that. There you go. Then it looks like he's looking down with this little eyeball. And we talked about that before, that bird eyeballs were round. All right, so when you're doing something like little flowers and stuff, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the leaves on. There's we got a little bit of yellow and phthalo green. We're going to put some leaves, and I want to just have sort of a two-tone. See what I mean? Just a little bit of a two-tone. Just take the angle brush and do that, right? And you just put a couple of different colors on it. There you go. That's the next one. Layer it on like you're putting suntan lotion on a kid that's yelling and saying, "Ouch, that hurts." That's how delicate you want to be when you put this on. So let's put a few leaves coming up here on the sides, okay, of our picture here. Maybe we'll have one, just a couple of small ones, just here like this and up the top, in case you decide to just put these on a table or something. When you do gallery wrap, the nice thing is they can sit on a table too. They're not just stuck on the whatever on a wall. You've got some chances there. So you see how I did the little bit of leaves, just kind of one stroke, and put them on. And if you're wondering how you do that, let me just show you real quick. You just you got an angle brush, you sort of push down and turn it, kind of spin it. I've got a great video on YouTube. It's called "Can Your Brush Do That?" And why that's so important is that a lot of times, if you don't have the right stiffness in your brush, you can twist your hand all you want and nothing's going to happen. and you're thinking, oh, I can't paint, she does that in seconds, and my brush doesn't work at all. Well, I probably couldn't make your brush work either. You've got to have the right brushes. So now I want a little bit of the yellow here for the top notch on the bird here. He's going to come back like this. Again, I'm barely going to touch it because I'm putting yellow over blue, and I still want it to be, want it to show up, and I want a little bit of bright yellow right there. See? This is dry, so I can add it. See how we did that? And I want a little peach color maybe. How do you make peach? Yellow and pink makes a pretty good peach, and white. Do you guys know that? Yeah, it makes a pretty good peach color. Just then you can vary the colors just a little bit by that. Just want this to be a little lighter right here.
A little peachier.
Just a little bit peachier. Everything's peachy, right? So any questions, Sean?
Nothing that I see, my queenness.
All right, so I told you I wanted to do some something a little bit heavier, right? So I'm going to just put this out of the way. Now remember, in the auction, you'll be bidding. We will change these pictures when they're dry. We'll change them, and we can scan them and put them up there. But these will be the ones that will be in the auction. All right, so I want to take a white and a little bit of yellow oxide and a little bit of gel. But there you go. So I've got that. Then I'm going to take it, kind of scrape it off my brush, and then scoop it up on the tip. Do you see it right there? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it.
You're going to plop and go.
Plop it like cookies on a cookie sheet. Yes. And because this is thick, this will stay up, and when it dries, it won't go flat on you. Now you've got to kind of wipe it off. It goes really. It goes. You can use it up really quick. So here we go. We're going to say we've got some flowers here.
Mary's got a good question. For our contest or our drawing for the comments, in the comments you want to use hashtag bird hop.
Yeah, we will be giving away on each video. Then the drawing will be on a week from Monday for our drawing for the limited edition prints, and we will be doing for each. We'll do a drawing for each of the videos we did today. So we'll be giving away a total of 3 prints. And like I say, Cinnamon, I think, is going to be drawing for hers on, a week from tomorrow.
Hers is the 14th and ours is the 16th.
Yeah, the 14th, because we don't have shows at the same time. She'll be drawing for hers. And you can enter. We don't have any restrictions as far as our moderators can enter too. And the reason we do that is that they work very hard. They not that Cinnamons don't, because they do. Then everybody has different policy, but we just feel like they volunteer, man, and they have it's all random. They have just as good a chance as winning. And one of the things that happens when you're moderated is you don't get to pay attention to the video because you're paying attention to the chat. So they hardly even get a chance to do anything, So we appreciate them. And if you see that their names are in there, I'm going to go over this a little bit. A little happy accident with some of our flowers here. I'm going to put some up here.
Now, what we were talking about, after the videos are all done and ready to have comments made, if you want a chance to win one of the prints from the paintings, they will be drawn, like we said, on the 16th for our show, and you need to have in there hashtag bird hop, plus whatever comment you'd like to leave. Make it appropriate, please.
We appreciate comments on the show. Sometimes we ask you questions, and but we appreciate. I really want to know how you guys like this bird hop stuff, because we're planning on doing more of these.
Unless you say this is just totally stupid.
If you don't want to do them, that's okay. But so far we've had some pretty good response to these. You put them in clusters of 3. If you're going to don't just put 1 dot. Do clusters of 3, kind of like a 3-leaf clover. You're going to do 3, 5, do odd numbers. And then we've got that. And then what you can do is then you can take, we've got a little bit of this pink color. And once you put the gel on, you don't have to do any more. You can just go over it and add a color. Let's just barely touch it, and you can add a color like that to them, and it gets
You're kind of tinting it a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of tint them, and but you don't paint them out. Does that make sense? You don't paint them out. So I want a little bit of cad red here.
Don't overpaint it.
There's a little bit of cad red right here on this. Cad red is a very bright color, as you can see. And if I added a little cad red and cad red light, I can even get it brighter. And there we go. And then I'll put a little bit of the dark purple here. And then I'm going to wipe the brush off a little bit of I want my little wingtip to come down this way. I'm going to do that. So I hope you enjoyed Cinnamon, and we kind of planned this all week, and we hope you've enjoyed the bird hops, and and are having fun, have had as much fun doing them as we've had today doing them. So now we're going to come up here closer to that and just make sure I've got that beak where it shows. And see, the contrast isn't bright enough on that, so I'm going to lighten up the blue right there. And I want to wipe the excess paint off the brush right there like that. And I'm going to say, I want this to be a little lighter near the beak. See how the beak now shows up where he really didn't show up before. Yes and yes. Put a little blue under there like that. And then come back with a few little, do we need some leaves anywhere? Do we have some, just kind of give it another little sweep here of some pretty leaves. There you go. And again, you don't be afraid to vary the colors. Like if you got, maybe you want a dark, let's get a real dark color. Let's take some blue and phthalo green and make a darker green here, a little bit of contrast. See that? Let's just take a little contrast up here. Maybe down here underneath that, these could be contrasty like that. Yeah. These leaves are just one color. That's boring. So let's do something else. Yeah. You can even do the sound effects. Those are good, right? Sound effects are good. And then let's see, I have now I also had some pretty orange in this little headpiece, so that's dry. So I'm going to come up here like that with a little detail brush. And I think I want this a little bit brighter right here. There you go. So you can see we had a little bit of orange on the branch. We'll just kind of give it a little bit of a highlight here. And we can do a little bit of pink on the flowers like that. I like these little pink flowers because they're sort of a combination of yellow pink. They're not just, there you go. And then I can come back here like that and add this next bit of texture to these over here and turn it around. Just plop, plop.
You really don't put texture on the bottom in case you want to stand them up.
Yeah, you don't want to put texture on the bottom. Absolutely good point. I just keep it pretty flat on the bottom in case you want to stand it up, right? Exactly right. Just a good point to make. And again, we tell you to leave, do an underpainting and leave some of it showing through, because that's what makes it gets it so nice. And you can absolutely, you can determine if you feel like maybe that you've got it too you don't want it too busy. You want it pretty calm, right? You want it to be there but not too busy. So if you feel like you've got it too busy, you can always tone it down a little bit if you need to kind of smooth an area out where you feel like maybe you've got too much or you need a little more contrast, right? But this is a very fun stylized way to paint anything. And I still want a darker red here. Where's my magenta? I'm going to put a little bit of magenta right here in red. Let's see if I'm going to mix that together. I'm looking at my reference photo. I want a little more contrast right here on his face. right there, but got it pretty thick. There we go. That's good. So he's got a little more contrast. Now these are definitely rainbow birds, for sure. And what I think is neat about them is that, let's see, there's my Posca pen. Then I've signed them all in the same place. Here's a note to self. Make sure it's dry first before you try to sign it. Just saying, you know, because now I got to make sure I don't goof up my pen here.
Yeah, please.
You know, because I mean, that's what'll happen. So what you got to do, these are my tub of towels, so I'll just make sure that I've got a clean tip on my pen because I went into the wet paint, which you're never supposed to do. Bad me. So don't do that. And because you want to be sure to dry it. And let's see, I want to make sure I have enough contrast everywhere before we sign off on this one. But you get the idea. You can create these. There's a reason we picked these colors.
Those are pretty.
Well, yeah, and they're pretty, and when you put these guys together, okay, you put these guys together. Let's just do a red slash to the name here, like that, which I always do, right? Now, let me show you all three.
Oh, so back out again. I'm going to want to show all three now.
Yeah, I'm going to show you all three together. And I think, because we're going to have total, between Cinnamon and I, we'll have a total of 24 birds before the year's out. And
That's
wouldn't it
what
be
we're
fun to collect all the originals or collect your own and have a nice collection of these and they all go? You see how nice they look together? This particular collection of rainbow birds, I think, looks great together. And they're different, but they're close enough where they're all different, but they're close enough in colors where I think that
they look lovely together.
These birds were artists for sure, right? Arty birds, right? So again, gingercookauction.com. Be sure to register and bid. The auction's closed. Now this is key. The auction closes next Friday, right before it ends, and then our regular, we're going to do a marathon painting session next Friday where I paint till I drop. We start in the afternoon and maybe go up to midnight or 1 o'clock, and I just keep painting and take a few breaks, and then all those little paintings that I do, little 6x8 paintings that I do, are then in our auction, and that's a 3-day auction. This is almost a week. We got a week auction on this one, 7 days for the paintings that both Cinnamon and I did, and John did, and they are Cinnamon and I did, right? And the prints that her husband, John Cooney, is making, they're limited edition, but the edition closes the 20th of August of 2021. So you got
if you
to
want
order
one, you got to order before then,
or they won't be available at all after that. So it's just and they start at $30 each, and if you buy a set, the prices change, and it's free shipping in the continental United States. Again, they've never done anything like this. We've never, created any prints. We also have the coffee mugs on Teesprings. Just look below. You can see the coffee mugs. Want to go to the Art Sherpa channel and check out her fabulous hummingbirds and cardinal and her other little bird she did.
the yellow bird.
The yellow bird with the flower. Yeah, these are so fun, and I think I've got them far enough apart where you can kind of see the paintings around the sides. You see how?
Well, that was an overhead shot, my queenness.
Well, do you see? Can you see it this here? Do you see?
Yeah, when you tip it, we
if you imagine if you hang these up, right, where on the wall, when people walk around them, you don't frame these little gallery wraps. Again, these are Creative Mark edge canvases, 6x6. And I think you're going to do this. No matter what level of art you're at, I think if you just started painting, I think you're going to do this easily. You're going to have fun. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments, after our show airs. And we thank you for our moderators for hanging in there with us. Don't forget to join our free Facebook club. And we will see you next Monday, 5:30 Central Time, for another fabulous acrylic painting Monday.
To enter the contest, the rules and the secret word, the hashtag, all the information is in the description just in case you forgot it. Other than that, if you have any other questions, use to contact us on any of our websites. gingercookauction.com for auction questions, acrylic painting with Ginger Cook for your Academy questions, and general questions for YouTube can also go there. Anything else, my queenness?
No, I think we're fabulous. And thanks you guys for hanging in there. And you new guys that just joined us, subscribe now if you haven't. And just keep in touch because we certainly appreciate you coming. We give our big shout out to Cinnamon and her crew for hanging in there too. And love you guys. And we'll see you Monday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'm a student, I say with glee,
And
of
then it's a
Ginger
TV song.
Cook's Academy. Take your time and do not rush. Use ruby satin, silver brush. Don't use black and mix the green. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises as I learn. I'll be an artist, wait and see. Ginger means the world to me. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises.